I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that you've never seen a microphone that can do what this one does. This is the Boya Magic, and I guess that makes it the Magic Mic.
Star of the show, Mr. Magic, Mike.
And it retails for $92 and it's everything, in terms of microphones at least. What I mean by that is that if you buy one of these, you now own many different microphones in just one package. And what I love about it is that everything you need is right here basically, with one exception I'll talk about in a second. I don't normally do microphone reviews on this channel, but I was fascinated when Boya reached out to me and showed me what this is all about. So I said yes, and hopefully you'll find this interesting. Basically, if you're somebody that does video calls for work, or you ever want to film something with good quality audio, whether it's from your smartphone or a proper camera, any of those situations are a great reason to maybe think about getting one of these in your life. And first and foremost, we should talk about the fact that the recording quality and the audio quality from the Boya mic is generally excellent. But before we dive into that, let me tell you about all the different features and functions of this one, because that's really where things get fascinating. And by the way, I'm going to switch occasionally between my full-size studio microphone here, which is an unfair comparison, and the little tiny Boya mic that I'm wearing on my lapel. So when you buy one of these, inside this case here, you get two microphones. I'm wearing one of them, and the other one you can see sitting inside there. What that means is you've now got the ability to, say, do interviews if you want to, or you can just use one of them at a time. Or you can put both of them in the case, close up the case, and use it as a handheld, either without the wind guard or with the wind guard. More importantly than that though, and this is where I think things get really exciting, is that if you want to use this with your smartphone, you're always carrying everything you need, because in the back of the case here is your adapter to go into the bottom of your smartphone. And it comes with both a USB-C version as well as an Apple-style version as well. So all you need to do is plug this into your smartphone and it's going to start allowing you to record high quality audio with a lapel mic style setup, or a handheld style setup, or a desktop style setup if you want to. And the reason I'm saying it's also a desktop style setup is that in addition to getting the microphone in its little case here, which by the way is also the charging case, you also get a little mini tripod with a screw connection and a ball head on top that you can connect to that, so it can then sit on your desk and become a desktop microphone. As I said before, fantastic if you're doing video calls. Let's say you're going to hotel rooms and the quality of the microphone on your laptop isn't so good. You take one of these, you get much better sound quality. And there's another trick that's got up its sleeve as well that we'll talk about in a second. But the other thing to think about there is that if you are using any kind of camera or recording device with a cold shoe, that's the little slidey bit where you can sometimes put things like a flash into, then you can also detach the ball head from the little tripod. And then if I just attach this on here and use my little backup camera, you can now set this up essentially as a shotgun mic for your camera. So as I said before, this is everything you need in terms of microphones. Lapel mic, desktop mic, handheld mic, camera shotgun mic, you name it, it's going to do it. And it's not just about the versatility of the actual microphones in terms of the ways you can use it. There's also other features built in, such as some excellent noise cancelling capabilities. And I've recently also been trying out the Rode Wireless Go microphones, which are also fantastic. And when I went to Shenzhen for the Shenzhen International Audio Show recently, I was swapping between the both different microphones. I'll play you a couple of samples of the sound using the Rode mic and then also using the Boya Magic, and you can work out for yourself if there's one that you prefer. It's the end of day one. I am completely and utterly wrecked. Not a lot of footage from today because we spent about 3-4 hours, I think, hearing all the new product launches from FiO, SMSL, Dunu, Moondrop. I'm forgetting somebody in there as well.
So we're trying Devil's Tongue. It's all over my fingers. It's very tasty, very hot. It's well, not very hot, but it's
not very hot.
It's got a constant chili burn to it, but it's tasty.
I know for me, after listening to that footage when I got home, that I do think the Rode Wireless Micro is maybe just a tiny little bit better on overall sound quality. But I had a couple of issues with the Rode as well. One of them is that when you're using the wireless camera receiver with something like the camera I'm recording on today, a great feature of it is that the Rode device, the Rode receiver, will turn on and off with the camera. The problem is, if you haven't used the camera for a little while and therefore the wireless receiver has been off, after a while, the microphones switch off too. And the only way that I could find to turn them back on again was to find the charging carry case for the wireless micros, to put them into it and take them out of it to then restart the microphones. That was a real hassle, and I actually lost some footage, or at least lost the audio for the footage, because I didn't know they'd do that. On the other hand, if I now disconnect the wireless receiver that comes with the Boya Magic, this one stays on all the time. So even when the camera is switched off, this is going to stay on, and that means that the connection with the wireless microphones is also kept on, and therefore they're ready to go anytime you need it. It does mean that you're eventually going to chew up the battery in this before something like the wireless micro from Rode, but you're also going to be ready for audio all the time and not have the problems I spoke about before. This transmitter, I should add, comes in the box with the Boya Magic, and whilst it doesn't feel quite as premium and high quality as the one from Rode, I still think it does a good job and the sound seems to be great. There are some controls on here that are going to let you choose the gain levels. You can also see which microphones are paired or unpaired, and if you switch on the noise cancelling, it's going to show you that too by going from a blue light to a green light. And speaking of noise cancelling, let's talk about that. I've just connected back to the audio from the Boya Magic, but now I've got noise cancelling switched on. It's going to be hard for me to demonstrate here how the noise cancelling works because I'm in a quiet office situation. But again, when I was doing the filming in the Shenzhen audio show, the background noise was fairly significant. I can play you some footage of the background noise levels that I took with my phone, and then play you some audio again using the Magic Mic in that same level of background noise, and you'll notice that the noise is all gone. And next stop's going to be dinner with the Shenzhen audio crew and a bunch of the reviewers that are over here from different places. We've got reviewers from the Philippines, from Malaysia, from Australia, of course, one from the US, one from Serbia. So we're all going to go out to dinner with the Shenzhen audio team, who've been very gracious in hosting us here. It's been a lovely time so far. And then we're back for more of this tomorrow. I do find that the AI noise cancellation can affect the sound quality, the audio quality of the voice a little bit compared to not having it switched on at all. But it is still very, very good, particularly in noisy environments, because in the end, it's better to have a slightly degraded vocal quality and be able to understand everything rather than have pristine audio quality that you can't hear because of the background noise. And while we're speaking about noise cancelling, another thing that I loved about the Boyas that I didn't love so much about the Rode microphones was that when I was trying both of them, it was the Boyas that allowed me to switch on and off the noise cancellation as I wanted to. There's a little button here at the base of each of the Boya mics that allows you to switch the noise cancelling on and off. Or if you're using the handheld version, there is a button on the handle that lets you turn on the handheld mic and also toggle between the noise cancelling on and off. And then, if you're using the little dongle in the bottom of your smartphone, there's a button on there too to do the same thing. And I love that. It makes it far easier to turn on and off noise cancelling when you need it, so that if you are going from quiet places to noisy places, you can maximize sound quality by turning it off where it's quiet, and then make sure you turn on the noise cancelling when you go somewhere noisy. Again, going back to the Rode Wireless, you've got to go through the smartphone app to turn it on and off. And that means that if you are doing camera recording, then you have to switch the Rode Wireless micros into the settings that you want for the entire day at the very beginning. It's much more fiddly. You have to go and get the dongle for the smartphone, make sure the wireless mics then connect to the smartphone instead of to the camera receiver. You've got to then change the settings on the smartphone app and then disable the smartphone dongle and go back over to the wireless camera receiver just to get the noise cancelling on or off. It's a bit of a hassle. And so that's where I do think the Boya Magic is a really, really great option. And in case you're wondering, let me turn on now the handheld mic and show you how that performs as well. So I've now taken off the lapel mic, which was connected inside my jumper with a little magnetic tab. So you've got the ability of a little squeezy clip or a magnet solution. That goes inside the case. So I press the button down the bottom here until it turns on. Like so, blue light comes on, it's now paired up with the receiver. I can now start talking into the microphone here, and you can hear the quality of the sound with the wireless microphone. So I can use this as a handheld, I can move it further away the desktop mic. If it does start to pick up noise, I can press the button on the front, and that's going to activate the green noise cancelling light to tell me that AI noise cancelling is now engaged. And now one last thing while we're talking about noise cancelling, there are a couple of levels of noise cancelling available. You do need to go into the smartphone app to choose between high noise cancelling and low noise cancelling, which is much the same as what you need to do for the Rode mics, but you can at least toggle on and off the noise cancelling with the buttons on the microphone. So we can then toggle back to no noise cancelling using the handheld mic, or it could be set up as a shotgun mic. And of course, you're going to hear some proximity effect differences. As the microphone gets further away, you're going to lose some of the depth in the sound versus bringing it much closer. But as you can see, there's huge amounts of versatility here. And that's what I really enjoyed about the Boya Magic while I was traveling with it in Shenzhen. And so to summarize, I think if I was looking for the best possible microphone solution for a one-hit recording setup, in other words, if I'm going to plug everything in, start recording, and not have to change any settings, I think the Rode wireless micros are slightly better in overall sound quality. However, it was the Boya Magic that I kept returning to because I loved the fact that they weren't going to turn themselves off, and I could switch on and off the noise cancellation whenever I needed to. At the same time, if I was traveling and producing vlogs, for instance, the ability to sit in the hotel room, have this on the desk, and do a very simple voiceover is kind of appealing as well. And so for me, Rode would still be the winner ever so slightly for pure sound quality. This is absolutely the winner for versatility, adaptability, and the ability to control things on the fly halfway through a recording session. And so, if that sounds good to you, I'll put links in the description down below where you can go and pick up the Boya Magic for yourself. And let me know in the comments, do you want me to do a full review like this one for the Rode wireless micros? I'll be really happy to if you're interested in it, so let me know down below. For now though, because I don't normally do videos like this one, I'm going to let YouTube pin a video here at the end that it thinks you're really going to enjoy from my library of videos I've produced. And in the meantime, I want to send a huge thanks as always to YouTube channel members, also to channel Patreon members, and of course to those of you who leave super thanks on videos like this one. And until next time, happy listening, be kind to each other, and I'll see you here again soon on Passion for Sound.